And welcome to Module 5 of COIS 3820H. And in this module, we'll be talking about personal computers, something you're all very familiar with. So the purpose of this module will give you a bit of background to the formation of the two large companies in this field, Microsoft and Apple, as well as IBM and lots of other companies which have come and gone through the years. We'll also talk a little about the paperless office. I know when I was probably your age, they kept talking about the paperless office and how once we bring in computers, there'll be no longer the need to have all this paper. And it turns out, of course, we have even more paper now than we used to have, so the paperless office is very much a myth. The impact on society, again, is very large here. Still basically more business-oriented, but rather than having one mainframe for your corporation, now you have a computer sitting on every employee's desk. Also means that there were jobs lost, certainly not nearly as many secretaries now as there used to be. When I first started working in an office, we had a secretarial pool. If you needed something typed, you would take it in the secretarial pool and one of the secretaries would type it for you. Now, of course, it's up to each individual to, in most cases, to type their own documents. Still haven't got to the need yet where somebody would need a computer in their own home, but certainly they were ubiquitous in the corporate commercial setting. At Trent in 1990, we had a VAX VMS. This is what's called a mini computer, basically a small mainframe, which used to run all the computers on campus. What you see on the right-hand side are some ads for VAX VMS. They were made by Digital Equipment, DEC. And you can see there's very large computers, certainly not the sort of thing you put on your desk. What you did have on your desk possibly would be what's on the left, which is a terminal. This didn't have any way for you to save any information on it. You would have to save it on your network drive, but it did allow you to be able to access the computer from your desk. Certainly much, much better than the old days with punch cards and key punch operators and computer operators. At least each individual had a way to interact directly with the computer. You notice the screen on the one being shown, black with orange text. This was a real nightmare on the eyes. Trent used to have 3 different color monitors. Unfortunately, the cheapest ones appeared to be the orange text ones, so we had lots and lots of those. Next best was green text on a black background, but even better was white text on a black background. They were rare and hard to find. But this is how you would interact with a school computer. Also, the advent of email, electronic mail. As this ad shows, people weren't sure what email was. Certainly email much, much faster than trying to send something through the post office. Another reason why someone would want to have a computer on their desk or a terminal on their desk just to check their email. This is an interesting little slide. This is from RAND Corporation. This is their idea of what a home computer would look like in the year 2004. I'm not sure what your home looks like, but mine doesn't look quite like this. Notice the big TV hanging on the wall for your monitor, the big keyboard, and then of course the big huge machine sitting there for the computer. I'm not sure what that big steering wheel thing is there, but other than maybe just for looks. Whatever, it's not quite what home computers turned out to be. This is also the first computers people could actually buy at a reasonable price. Would be IBM XTs and IBM ATs, as it shows on the left, the XT clone buyer's guide. The first personal computer that I owned was IBM clone. It was a 286. It actually had a hard drive. A lot of the original computers, like the one being shown, don't have a hard drive. You just use the 2 floppy drives for all your storage. On the right-hand side is a Mac from about 1993. Trent didn't have many Macs. The math department had them. The mathematicians liked them because They do, at least back then and still do, graphics better, and they handle equations better than the Windows world. A lot of people wonder why it is that since the Mac machines are better, why did IBM's and IBM clones become so much more popular? In fact, taking over about 95% of the world's computers are, there used to be IBM clones, and it's still, I believe, around 85-90% are Windows machines. Well, one of the big reasons why is this IBM clone thing. IBM made this an open architecture, meaning anyone could build an IBM computer, at least use the design that IBM used, use the operating system that IBM used, MS-DOS. And this allowed their computers to be much, much cheaper. And since consumers are often pulled by cost as opposed to quality, the IBM clones soon became much more popular than the Macs did. Macs were always more stable because they built the hardware and they built the software. It also means they were more expensive.